Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Mr. Safrizal, our supervising lecturer, distinguished presenter, and respected participant. It is indeed a pleasure and a honor to welcome you to this session of our seminar on student research. We are gathered here to explore a series of insightful academic presentations conducted by students from the English Education Department, Class B. I'm Sakila Amelia, and I will serve as the moderator for this session in separate room 2. This afternoon, we will hear four presentations that explore various challenges and innovation in the field of English language education. The order of today's presentation is as follows. For the first group who will be present is from group 10, with the title is the challenges in writing English essay. Experience from Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University English Education Student Semester 6 Class B. Then the second group is from Group 19 with the title The Use of Technology in Improving Collaborative Learning Experiences in Higher Education. Then the third group is from Group 7 with the title The Effect of Social Anxiety on English Speaking Fluency in Classroom Interaction. Then the last group is from Group 4 with the title The Impact of Learning Style on Interactive English Teaching Strategies for Improvement. Okay, so each presenter will be given 10 to 15 minutes for their presentation, and a Q&A session will be held at the session end of the session of the group presentation. Okay, to officially begin the session, let us proceed with our first presentation by Group 10, presented by Inka, with the title of the research is Challenges in Writing English Essays, Experiences from Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University English Education Students Semester 6 Class B. So for Inka, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for letting us group 10 to presenting our study entitled Challenges in Writing English Essay, Experience from Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University, English Education Students. First, I want to introduce our group. My name is Inka Pesavandini as a presenter and my friend Dila Herlina. This research explores the difficulties students face when writing essays in English and the strategies they use to overcome them. Next slide. For the first is introduction, is background of the study. Writing essays in English is an important skill for English education students. Many students experience linguistic difficulties such as grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. Challenges also arise in organizing ideas and connecting paragraphs coherently. Students struggle to find credible source of information, especially those that are free and easily accessible. This study focuses on students' real-life experiences in facing these challenges. The aims is to provide practical insight for teachers in developing more effective writing instruction strategies. Next slide. For the next is the research question. Our research was guided by 4 key questions. Well, the first is what are linguistic challenges that students face in writing language essays? Second is what challenges do students encounter when trying to maintain consistent structure throughout the paragraphs of their English essays? Third is what obstacles do students face in identifying suitable and reliable arguments to support their points in English essay? And the last is what strategies or recommendations can be implemented to help students overcome challenges in writing English essay? Next slide. Next is the research objective. First is to explore the linguistic challenges students face when writing English essays, such as grammar errors, sentence structure inaccuracies, and vocabulary limitation. Second is to analyze the challenges students encounter when trying to maintain consistent structure throughout the paragraphs of their English essays. Third is to understand the obstacles students face in identifying suitable and reliable arguments to support their points in English essays. And last is to explore the strategies or recommendations can be implemented to help students overcome challenges in writing English essays. Next slide. Next is the data review. First is theories of writing. Writing is widely regarded as one of the most inaccurate language skills. It is a structured piece of writing that focuses on a central topic, elaborated through multiple paragraphs. Essay writing consists of a core component of writing instruction. Writing is a complex skill, as Gautam 2019 and Purnasi et al. 2024 explain student need to master grammar, structure, critical thinking, and creativity. Essay writing is one of the most demanding types of academic writing, requiring students to build arguments, support claims with evidence, and use proper structure. Oshima and Hogu, 2006, emphasized that essays should have clear introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. Next is the function of writing English essays. First is essay writing as a tool for developing thinking and language skill. Second is essay writing as a means of academic evaluation and skill reinforcement. And the third is strategic to the role of essay writing in academic and professional success. Writing essay is more than just an assignment, according to Suprasa et al. 2023. It teaches students to express ideas logically and develop academic thinking. In Hasman and Idris 2023, as that essay help to with professional communication and potential in academic essays. Next slide. Next is the literature review. First is challenges in writing English essays. First is difficulties with grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. Second is lack of planning, coherence, and essay organization. Third is plagiarism and low self-confidence in writing. As mentioned in our paper, common challenges include grammar, vocabulary, organization, and plagiarism. In Baxter 2023, explains that poor vocabulary leads to imprecise word choice. Also, many students give spelling step, leading to wider block of paragraph confusion. In Baxter 2023, note that low confidence as another factor, students hesitate to revise their work of accept feedback. Next is the previous studies. First is Nanotech from Nanotech Thailand and Manubulu 2022 found that students had difficulty writing academic essays in English, particularly in developing ideas, organizing paragraphs logically, and using grammar correctly. Low self-confidence and lack of experience in writing academic further exacerbate the problem. Second is Alisaria and Yunus 2023 state that E-level students in Jordan often fail to establish coherence in their essays. Errors in the use of conjunction, repetitive translation, and weak understanding of discourse structure are the main factor contributing to the weak logical flow of their writing. Last is Maharani 2023. In her study, revealed that although her research focused on listening skill, limited exposure to various ASEAN in English language structure is also the quality of students' writing, particularly in the terms of vocabulary richness and syntactic variation required in academic writing. Next slide. Next is the research method. We use the qualitative phenomenological approach to explore student life experiences. 3 method students from English Education Department were selected to purposive random sampling. All participants had completed the English essay writing course. Next is the data collection and analysis method. Data was collected through structural interviews. Each student received the same question, focused on 4 key aspects: grammar challenges, paragraph structure, credibility of source, and coping strategies. We analyzed the data using thematic analysis by Brown and Clark, which help us to find repeated themes and patterns. Next is the instrument. The instrument used in this study was a structural interview. This instrument was chosen to systematically expose student experiences in facing the challenges of writing English essays through prepared questions. The research was able to honestly explore 4 main aspects, which are linguistic difficulties, problem in structuring essays, obstacle in finding relevant and credible arguments, and strategies used to overcome these difficulties. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Next up is finding and discussion. For the finding, first is linguistic challenges students face when writing English essays. First is grammatical errors are common, as participant two stated. Sometimes I use the word tense and I don't realize it until the teacher checks it. I miss past and present without thinking. Next is sentence construction is influenced by their first language, which is Indonesian. As participant four note, I think the Indonesian first and then translate it. That's why my sentence sometimes sounds weird in English. Third is limited vocabulary, reduced clarity and confidence. As participant 3 explained, I feel like my vocabulary is limited, so it's hard to convey my ideas clearly. Sometimes I just use the same word again and again. Mastering the linguistic component of academic writing remains a significant obstacle for E-level students. Highland 2003 explains the grammatical control and lexical accuracy are crucial for academic writing development. Without sufficient vocabulary and syntactic awareness, students struggle to compress complex ideas and produce coherent text. Next is the structure and coherence. First is paragraph lack of unity and often jump between unrelated topic. As participant one reflected, every paragraph seems to be about a new topic. I wasn't sure how to connect them. Second is transition words are repetitive and used incorrectly. As participant 4 admitted, I use ten a lot because I don't know other words to connect my ideas. Third is lack of outlining leads to organized essays, as participant 5 confessed. I just write without plan and sometimes I forget what I want to say in the next part. Poor structural planning and weak cohesion hinder the logical flow of student essays, as Kitchener and Ferris 2012 point out. Teaching E-level students how to outline, organize, and use varied cohesive devices is essential in helping them produce more structured and readable academic texts. Next slide. Next is the difficulty students face in finding appropriate and credible arguments for their English essays. First is essay topics are difficult to find source for, as participant first said. Yes, sometimes it is difficult, especially if the essay topic is rarely researched. Second is academic source are logged or paid. As participant two said, sometimes I find suitable title, but the website is logged or paid. Third is unreliable source. As participant one said, I usually check the credibility and reliability of sources. I avoid the Wikipedia and blogs. Access and evaluation of academic sources remain a major challenges. In Ananda 2024, found that E-level students need stronger information literacy skill. Teachers can guide students to use free academic database and evaluate source critically. Next is the strategies and support. Our combination can be implemented to help students overcome challenges in writing English essay. First is using an outline to maintain the flow of writing. As participant one said, I usually check my outline again to remember the direction of my writing. Second is creating a comfortable writing environment, like music or quiet place. As participant first said, I actually write essays while listening to soothing music. As participant two said, I usually write essays in a quiet and secluded place to stay focused. Third is asking help from professor or classmate. As participant three said, asking help for professor and classmate. Our finding confirms the importance of feedback and self-motivation. Students use outline, calm settings, breaks, and lecturer input to overcome the difficulties. This match strategies described by Marlinda 2023 and Hussein in 2022 who stress effective and collaborative learning in writing structure. Next slide. Next is the conclusion. Students face significant linguistic challenges in writing these essays, including confusion in tenses, subject-verb arrangement, auxiliary verbs. They often translate Indonesian talk into English, resulting in awkward sentences. They struggle with complex sentences and selecting appropriate vocabulary, hindering their ability to express idea effectively. This highlights the need for targeted instructional support. Students also struggle with essay organization, especially maintaining coherence between paragraphs, the lack of contextual understanding, and clear planning, leading to disjointed and poorly structured essay. The body of essay is most problematic area with repetitive ideas and abrupt topic shift. These challenges emphasize the need for developing essay organization skills and strategic translation to support clear and cohesive academic writing. Finding the right arguments for supporting information is so challenging. As student in modern times, you can utilize technological advance to find it. After all challenges in English essays, each learns different strategies and techniques to overcome it. It is also important for students to maintain their motivation when writing essays. The role of teacher of lecturer is no less important because students need to feedback for of those who are more expert so that their essays are better. Next. Next slide. For the limitation and recommendation, the study has limitation in that only has access to a sample of English education students, so it cannot represent all students. However, the small number in samples make the interview and data discovery process in study in more depth accurate. Further research is recommended to explore the challenge students face in writing this essay by conducting observation, interview, and direct assessment of student essay with larger sample of students to improve the quality of findings. Next slide. Okay, that's all from our group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Inka, for the insightful and well-organized presentation. So the study is set in light on common difficulties faced by university students, especially in English education students, semester 6 class B, uh, including challenges in idea development, paragraph structure, grammar usage, and argument construction. Employing a phenomenological approach, the researcher captures student lived experience during the essay writing course. These findings are crucial for refining pedagogical strategies in writing instruction. So let us now open the floor for question and comment from the audience. Please ask if there is something that you want to ask to the presenter. And this is Q&A session will be given by 5 minutes. Okay, Rizky Azika Ramadan. Any question for the presenter?
Okay, thank you, moderator. Hello, my name is Rizky Ajik Ramadan. My name is 222 322 0062, and the question is, given the identified challenges What simple actionable steps could teachers implement in their lessons to help students to improve their use of transition word and maintain paragraph coherence in English essays? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, I want to answer Rama question. Given the identified challenges, what simple actionable steps could teachers implement in their lessons to help students improve their use of transition words and maintain paragraph coherence in essays? The answer is to help students improve their use of transition words and maintain paragraph coherence in English essays. Teacher can implement the following simple and actionable steps. First is emphasize the importance of using outline. Encourage students to create an outline before starting an essay. This will help them to keep the direction of the writing and ensure the ideas are radically connected. An outline can serve as a guide to prevent student topic jumps. Second is focus practice on transition words. Provide specific exercise on the proper use of help students extend their transition beyond active use like 10. Teachers can present a list of transition words by function. For example, like adding ideas, showing contrast, showing cause and effect, and give example of their use. Provide Third is provide specific feedback on coherence. When taking essays, teachers should provide specific feedback on paragraphs coherence and the use of transition words. For example, highlighting section where paragraphs do not connect or where the transition words are used inappropriately and suggesting improvement. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, is it enough, Rama?
Okay. Thank you, Inka.
Okay, so thank you for Group 10 and for the constructive engagement. Okay, now let's move on the next group to deliver their presentation. For the Group 19, with the title is the use of technology in improving collaborative learning experiences in higher education. For Rauzan, the platform is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. First, I will introduce myself. I'm Rozan Batulikam, and I'm from Group 19. I will tell you about the use of technology in improving collaborative learning experience in higher education. This prepared by our group. Our group is Rizky Azikra Ramadan and me, Rozan Batulikam. Next slide, please. Okay, the introduction. The background, the rapid advancement of digital technologies has brought significant change to the structure and delivery of education, particularly in higher learning institutions, with the increasing need for flexibility and accessibility. Technology has become a central component in supporting student collaboration beyond the boundaries of the physical classroom. The global pandemic further accelerated this transition, prompting universities to rely heavily on online platforms to sustain educational activities. As a result, tools such as video conferencing, application, cloud-based collaboration suites, and instant messaging service have become essentials in facilitating group-based learning. These technologies not only enable students to engage in academic tasks remotely, but also used for diverse forms of communication and joint problem. Next slide, please. This research aimed to explore how technology affects the quality of collaborative learning, identify both its positive and negative impact, and examine how educational practice can be improved through truthful and inclusive technological integration. Okay, the research problem is how do digital tools affect student collaboration in higher education, and what obstacle do users face in online group works, and how does unequal access to technology impact participation, and what strategies can improve tech-based collaboration. The research objective is to identify popular tools used in digital collaboration and to explore the strengths and weakness of these tools, to assess their impact on group interaction and engagement. And the last is to suggest ways to enhance collaborative learning with technology. Next slide, please. The theoretical framework. The first is the social constructivism by Lev Vygotsky. Social constructivism posits that knowledge is constructed through social interaction and collaboration rather than transmitted directly from teacher to student. And the second is zone of proximal development, or the ZPD. ZPD is the gap between what a learner can do independently and what they can achieve with a guidance from a more capable peers or more knowledge others. Next slide. The third is collaborative learning theory. Mundur sedikit. Okay, the third is collaborative learning theories. Collaborative learning is based on the idea that students learn more effectively when they actively engage in group tasks and solve problems together. And the last is community of practice by Etienne Winger. This theory emphasizes that learning takes place within a social community when members engage in shared practice, language, and goals over time. Next slide. Okay, in this slide, there's a methodology. We use the mixed method approach, and the data we collect the data by a survey, interview, and observation. The participant is 40 students involved in digital collaboration. We analyze the qualitative and quantitative. Next slide, please. Okay, the literature reviews highlight. There is a real-time collaboration, video conferencing, and social presence, asynchronous communication, cloud-based tools, project management platform, and challenge identified. Next slide. Okay, in this slide, I will tell you about the finding and discussions. And the first one is the quantitative findings. The survey showed positive acceptance of technology in collaborative learning. 87% of respondents said digital tools make group work easier, with 92% reporting improved communication efficiently. 85% scheduling flexibility and 80% task coordination. Interestingly, 70% of Participants felt more confident contributing online. Popular tools includes Google Workspace, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, and Telegram. However, 38% of respondents often face technical issues such as unstable connection, confirming the digital divide, also reported by UNESCO. Next slide. Next is the qualitative findings, interview and the observation. The first one is increased global accessibility and flexibility. Interviews and observation confirm that digital tools reduce geographical and time barriers. Next slide. The next is the improved clarity of communication and accountability. The digital footprint in collaborative tools significantly increase transparency and accountability. One lecturer stated with the revision history feature in Google Docs, I can see each student's contribution. This makes it look easier to track contributions and assign clear tasks, collaborating Greenhow and Lewin in 2016. Findings of increased accountability through revision tracking features. Next slide. Next is challenge. In this challenge, the motivation, emotional engagement, and group cohesion, also convenience. Some students reported decreased motivation and emotional engagement in long virtual sessions. Okay, next slide. The next challenge is the digital fatigue, distraction, and self-management. More than a third of students reported symptoms of digital fatigue on a regular basis. Next slide. Okay, the next is the instructor facility role. Observations show that the most productive group with a 20 until 30% increase in balance participation and text completion are those that utilize digital tools strategically and receive clear guidance from the instructor. Without adequate facilitation, collaboration tended to be uneven. This confirmed that tools alone are not enough. Facilitation and structured guidance are key, in line with the view of Norozi et al. Next slide. Next is the key theme and pattern. The integration of quantitative and qualitative finding revealed some key pattern. Asynchronous flexibility is a key driver, especially for students with a busy schedules, which is supported by the survey flexibility data. Transparency and accountability through digital footprint is quantitatively supported by contribution tracking capabilities and qualitatively reinforced by student perception of fairness. Despite the high usage of synchronous tools, interviews show fatigue challenge, indicating that a balance of synchronous and asynchronous interaction is crucial. Finally, the quantitative finding regarding technical barriers, 38% directly implicate the importance of infrastructure support and crucial institutional policies to ensure fair and effective collaboration. Next slide. Okay, the data strongly suggests that technological not only facilitates collaboration, but also introduce new responsibilities for students, educators, and institutions. For students, this demands the development of digital time management skills, high level of digital literacy, and self-regulation abilities. For educator, their role evolved into architect of digital collaborative learning experience, which require the ability to design engaging activities, provide clear scaffolding, and manage virtual group dynamic. The implication is the need to address the digital divide through investing of technological infrastructure and comprehensive digital literacy programs, as well as integrating digital collaboration skills into the curriculum. In summary, technology strengthens collaborative learning by breaking down traditional barrier, but its optimal success depends heavily on strategic implementation, digital readiness, and sustain. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rozan, for your informative and well-supported presentation. This research explored the use of digital tools such as Google Docs, Zoom, Trello, and LMS platform in supporting collaborative academic work. It also highlights significant issues such as digital peju, unequal access to technology, and the importance of digital literacy. The study recommends implementing blended learning models, digital training, and ongoing institutional support to enhance collaborative learning. Okay, we now invite the audience to participate in the Q&A session. Please raise your hand if there are any questions you want to ask to the presenter. Okay, if there's not any question, let's move on the next group to deliver their presentation. There is group 7 who will be presented by Pico, and the title of the presentation is The Effect of Social Anxiety on English Speaking Fluency in Classroom Interaction. For Pico, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for inviting me to this seminar, for this international seminar. So with this, I'm going to present my paper. The title is Correlating Speaking Anxiety Levels, which are going to measure by FLCAS with pronunciation performance in Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa second semester students as an EFL learners. So let's start our seminar today. And this is our table of content, which I'm going to explain today, we have the background of our study, and then the research questions, and purpose of the study, significance, secretary review, research methodology, findings, and a summary of our key findings. So first, to start this seminar, I'm going to explain the background of our study. Why are we doing this? So speaking is an essential in EFL, but many students face anxiety. So, as we all know, in studying English as a AFL, of your foreign language, speaking is one of the important aspect of the fourth aspect in English. But sometimes students face anxiety, which can hinder their speaking abilities because of their nervous to speak because the anxiety. So, speaking anxiety is a psychological barrier, causing fear and nervousness, and anxiety can lead to poor pronunciations. For example, like mispronounced words, unclear speech. So that's why I'm going to know why that is speaking can affect the is speaking anxiety can affect the pronunciation of a student in FEL learner. So because pronunciation requires confidence, fluency, and focus, all that is uh, affected by anxiety. So this study are going to explore the link between anxiety and pronunciation performance in EFL learners, especially in second or third year students. And next, we have our research question. So our first research question is, what is the level of speaking anxiety among second semester English education students at Universitas Sultan Agung Tirtayasa? So we are going to know what is their level of speaking anxiety. We are going to measure them by our FLCAS, which is a universal measurement for speaking anxiety in English language classrooms. And then we have the how is the pronunciation performance of those students in speaking tasks. So um, after we are going to observe how do the pronunciations do in speaking class. And next, is there any significant correlations between students speaking anxiety levels and their pronunciation performance in EFL classroom? So yes, we are going to see, is there any correlations between anxiety and pronunciations? And next, we have this our purpose of the study, which is a measurement speaking anxiety for the. So our purpose is to measure speaking anxiety using the FLCAS or foreign language classroom anxiety score. And next we our purpose is to assess pronunciation performance using a rubric. It's a rubric that we are made to measure how do they do in the pronunciation. And next, we are going to examine the correlation between anxiety and pronunciation. And next is the significance of the study. So it can help for the students. It can help to become more aware of how anxiety affects their speaking ability. So I hope this paper can encourage them to develop strategies to manage anxiety and improve their pronunciation skills. And for teachers, the findings can assist lecturers and the teachers in identifying students who experience high speaking anxiety in designing teaching approaches or activities that reduce anxiety, thus enhancing student speaking confidence and pronunciation accuracy. And as for the researcher, I hope this study can serve as a reference for further research on effective factors in language learning, especially anxiety's role in oral communication, and inspire deeper exploration of effective interventions to support EFL learners. So, in our literature review, so first, speaking anxiety is common in EFL as affects oral performance. So, there are lots of study before us that has study these kinds of things, and most of the result is that speaking anxiety can affect oral performance of someone. And next is FLCAS is a reliable and standard tool to measure language learning anxiety. So FLCAS is developed by Horwitz and is developed in the 80s, and but it's a universal measurement for the anxiety levels of the students. And next we have the our pronunciation is affected by anxiety and is a key for intelligibility. And next, previous study found a negative correlation between anxiety and speaking performance. So before our study, there are some previous studies already do this some kind of things, and they found a negative correlation between anxiety and speaking performance. Means and next we have the research methodology. Um, our research is using a quantitative correlational research because there's a lot of correlations, and our instrument is using the FLCAS or the foreign language classroom anxiety score. It is a questionnaire of a 30 questions. And next we have the pronunciation rubric. And next, our population is come from the students of Sultan Ageng Tirta University, but our sample is a 30 people of second or third year EFL students, especially um, in English department. And next, our analysis is we are using the Pearson product moment correlations because it's about the correlations. And next, we have these findings. This is our findings, our results. So from our FLCAS and rubrics of pronunciation, we find that speaking anxiety mean score is around 106 106 and 0.5, which is means moderate to high, and pronunciation mean score is about 74, which means a moderate performance. And our correlation result is R mean 0.73071, and our p value is 0.001, which is a moderate negative correlation. So what do these numbers mean? So our interpretation for this is a higher anxiety. As you can see the scatter block, we see that the line coming from this side and going downward, so which means it's a negative correlation. And this our interpretation is higher anxiety means lower pronunciation performance. Anxiety affects focus, speech fluency, and accuracy, and it supports a previous research findings in this EFL settings. So here's our summary of our key findings. So most students experience moderate to high anxiety. Average FLCAS student is 106.5 out of 165, which is because of there are 33 questions with a maximum score of 165, and these indicate a discomfort in classroom speaking tasks, which means some there are a lot of students that suffer anxiety in their classroom. And next, we have the pronunciation performance, which have the score of overall moderate pronunciation ability. So the average score was 74 out of 100. The intelligibility was fair, but stress, rhythm, and fluency need improvement. So because there are some students that suffer this anxiety, so there are some things that lack in their pronunciation. And next we have the correlation, which I have explained before, is a negative 0.073, and our p-value is 0.001, which is a moderate and significant correlation. This means that a higher anxiety leads to a lower pronunciation performance, and this confirms that affective factors impact speaking clarity. And our recommendation for future research is use low stress activities in class. And next, we have to apply FLCAS to identify anxious students. And 3 is to provide positive encouraging feedback. And 4 is to include pronunciation in communicative tasks. This recommendation can be useful for future students or future teachers, educators, if they met some students with the anxiety which have impacted their pronunciation skill. So anxiety plays a crucial role in how well students pronounce English in speaking tasks. So this is our main conclusion about this, which uh, anxiety have a crucial role in how students pronounce English in speaking tasks. So that's it for our presentations today. I hope it can be useful for educators and everyone in the seminar. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Fico, for presenting a highly relevant study. So this research explored the correlation between speaking anxiety levels measured using the foreign language classroom anxiety scale and persistent performance among second semester EFL students at Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University. The finding revealed that higher anxiety levels are often linked to poor pronunciation performance. Contributing factors include fear of making mistakes, nervous during speech, and lack of confidence. And the study emphasized the importance of reducing speaking anxiety through supportive learning environment and targeted strategies to enhance pronunciation in EFL learners. Okay, let us open the discussion with question or comment from the audience. If you want to ask the presenter, you can raise your hand. Okay, if there is no question, maybe we can move to the next group to deliver their presentation. Now let's move on to the next group to deliver their presentation. There is group 4 who will be present by Pramudia Ananda, and the title is The Correlation Between Learning Style on Student Speaking Skills. For Pramudia, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for giving me a chance to presenting our research. So the title is The Correlation Between Learning Style on Student Speaking Skills that we held on specifically in Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa on 4th until 6th semester student on English Education Department. Okay, next slide, please. So for the introduction, speaking is a key in second language acquisition. For students often face the challenge in communicate differences in how they learn and learning styles like auditory, kinesthetic, reading, writing, and kinesthetic. So it can be have a connection because the student can especially have their speaking their develop their speaking skill to make his speaking skill is how well. Okay, next slide, please. So the problem formulation is there are three. The first one is what are the predominant learning style among the student, how the learning styles relate to the speaking skill, and is there a significant correlation between these two things or two instruments? And the objective is the first one is to identify the dominant learning style that students have to into their language into their speaking skill. The, the second one is the examine the relationship with speaking skill and determine statistical significance of the correlation. Okay, next slide, please. So for the theoretical framework, we have so many theories. The first one is FRK theory that developed by Neil Fleming in 1993. There are four uh, learning style that Neil Fleming say. The first one is visual. Visual is a learning style that using some object like visual, like pictures, video, and etc. This give a mindful concept so student can develop their imagination using this learning style about the material. So the second is the auditory. Is a oral learning style that focus on listening ability. For the implementation, student can give their attention with interesting sound like song, conversation, audiobook, and etc. This student pay greater attention to the spoken conversation, to the spoken word of their teachers, and prefer listening over taking a lecture notes. And the third is reading writing. This is a learning style that focus on writing and reading some literature or some material like in the book or in the what is it in the so many paper that is. And the last one is kinesthetic. Kinesthetic is learning style that involve to student by learning by doing, so just not a theory but it will be a practically learning, so student have to practice by doing for for one time to another time. Okay, next slide please. The second one is the language acquisition theory. There are three language acquisition theory that we bring in this paper. The first one is universal grammars by Chomsky. In this theory, Chomsky that's stated that every human that was has born has their own knowledge of language in their brain. Chomsky called it LAD, or language acquisition device. It means every human has had the knowledge of the language since their birth, they're born, but it needs a stimulus to get the access to their language knowledge. And the next is constructivism theory. This is theory that developed by Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. This theory explains that language knowledge involves understanding construction that we are used to carry out the communicate or social pragmatic function. For example, a question or a construction it used to ask for information, and a transitive statement it used to comment on an action performed by an actor. Okay, the next is behaviorist theory. This theory is a language acquisition theory that developed by B.F. Skinner. This theory is countered by the nativist theory. Why? Because this theory states that when human was born, there is like an empty bottle in their process of life, and bottle are filled slowly to the brim. However, what the kind of water is filled in this bottle or brain on who fills it or where it fills it. It means that the language that children acquire depend on their environment, depend on their behavior, and they give. For example, Japanese people can also get their Japanese people when they are born if their parents live in Java. But it's different in their parents are Japanese, but the children were born and live in English. Their parents automatically give the English language to their children to adapt in their environment. Okay. So the next is speaking skills theory in language acquisition. Speaking is involves multiple components, including grammar, pronunciation, fluency, and accuracy. Speaking skills particularly refer to the ability to process speech rapidly to enhance our fluency, which encompasses elements such as speech rate, chunking, pausing, formulatic expression, and discourse marker by Byrne 20 and 19. Fluency assessment aim to capture an underlying abstract concept known as cognitive fluency, which related to a speaker efficiency in planning and producing speech by Biela 20 and 22. Many Many learners prioritize verbal fluency as more important and than reading or writing skill when it comes to communicating by Nazara 20 and 16. Okay, after that, next slide please. We going to the research methodology. So this research have approach in quantitative research, especially specifically in correlation research, and for the data collection is VRK based questionnaire and speaking test. Participant is 30 respondents from 4th until 6th semester at Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa on English Education Department. So for the analysis technique, we use the person product moment correlation. Okay, next slide please. So we are going to findings. So in the findings, there are most dominant learning style among the student followed by kinesthetic, reading, writing, and visual. This like to the distribution we observe. The first one is auditory. Approximately is 30% of respondents have their learning learning their auditory learning style between between any other learning style like kinesthetic. Kinesthetic have uh, 27% of respondents. Reading writing have approximately 23% of respondents. This descriptive analysis of learning style among the student in the study revealed that the auditory learning style is the most accounting for approximately 30% of the respondents. This finding aligned with the anticipated distribution of learning style within the study of group. The result indicate a diverse range of learning learning preference among the student at Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa, with a notable indication toward auditory and kinesthetic approach. To learning, this diversity in learning style highlight the importance of varied teaching approach as a one-size-fits-all method may not effectively cater to all student needs. Okay, and there are in visual learning style showed a moderate but significant positive correlation with self-confidence when speaking in class. However, its correlation with idea fluency and discussion participants were weaker and non-significant. This suggests that while visual and might enhance a visual learner confidence in speaking, they may not directly translate to improve spontaneous oral output in terms of fluency and active participation in discussion. And also the weakness learning style that we use in speaking skill is reading writing. This learning style generally exhibited weak and non-significant correlation with most aspects of speaking skill. This outcome, like with the theoretical understanding that this style primarily focus on processing information through text. Students who prefer reading and writing learn to engage with print material, glossary textbooks, and notes. And while crucial for other language skills like reading and writing, this preference may not directly enhance spontaneous oral performance in speaking skill, as it emphasizes textual rather than interactive or auditory processing. Okay, I think that is all from me. I will give back to moderator. Oh, so for the conclusion is the student learning style significantly influence their speaking skill with auditory and kinesthetic learning style. This is students showing notably stronger performance in fluency and participation in discussion. The auditory learning style emerged that as the most dominant among students, followed by closely by kinesthetic learning style. It's indicating a preference for learning through listening and physical activity, while visual learners exhibit increased self-confidence, and reading writing learners show minimal impact on oral communication because they are focused on textual skills. The result highlight the need for educators to adopt diverse and adaptive teaching strategies that align with students' individual learning preference. Tailoring an instructional approach in this way can enhance students' speaking proficiency and promote more effective language acquisition overall. Okay, I think that is all from our group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prom, for an insightful and practical presentation. So, this study reveals that student learning style significantly influence their speaking skill, auditory and kinesthetic learner perform better in fluency and participation, with auditory being the most dominant. Visual learner gain confidence while reading or writing style had little impact. These findings suggest the need for adaptive teaching strategies aligned with students' preference to improve speaking proficiency and language learning outcome. And now we will proceed with the Q&A session. Question and comment are welcome. If you want to ask the presenter, you can raise your hand. Okay, Pico?
Okay, so is there? I would like to ask: is there any implications for educators and students for after this research? I mean, what can students and educators get from this research? Is there any implications after this research? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vico Franco, for the questions. So, wait. So I will answer Vico Franco question. So the question is, what is implication for educator and student based on the finding of the study? Is that right question, Vico?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is implication for educator. The studies demonstrate a significant correlation between student learning styles and their speaking skill, particularly highlighting that the auditory and kinesthetic learners perform better in fluency and participation in discussion. And the second, educator should move beyond the traditional like one size fits all teaching methods and instead adopt diverse adaptive instructional strategies that cater on various learning styles, especially auditory and kinesthetic. So the practical steps it include the integrating more listening activities like discussion, audio materials to support auditory learners, incorporating hands-on interactive tasks, using visual aids and confidence building exercise for visual learners, even through their correlation with speaking skills was moderate, and recognizing that reading writing activities have minimal direct impact on speaking proficiency. So this should be supplemented with more interactive approach for balanced skills development. And implication for the student is develop their awareness of their own learning styles can empower students to select study strategies that align with their strengths, potentially accelerating their speaking skill development. And second is auditory and kinesthetic learners in particular might benefit from seeking out opportunities for active participation, such as joining discussion, listening on authentic audio material, or engaging in role play to further enhance their fluency and participation. And the third is visual and reading writing learners should be encouraged to supplement their preferred study method with more interactive speaking activities to address areas where their style have less impact on oral communication. Overall, Understanding the link between learning style and speaking skills can help students become more self-directed, strategic learners, and optimizing their language acquisition process. So that is all from me. Thank you. I will go back to moderator. Is that clear answer, Fico?
Yeah, thank you for your great answer.
Okay, thank you. I give back to moderator.
Okay, we are now moving into the closing part of today's seminar. Distinguished participants that conclude this seminar session, today we have witnessed for a compelling research presentation that address various dimensions of English language education. Each presentation offers critical insight that contribute to the ongoing development of student-centered, technologically informed, and psychologically aware language education. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation for our presenter, Inka, Fauzan, Fico, and Pram for their outstanding work. And I also thank to Mr. Safrizal for his continuous academic guidance and all participants for their attention and active engagement through this session. Okay, after this, maybe you can back to the main room. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Benar gak?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.